Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV, Big Fox, broadcasting from the Hesselson studio. And this is the Steuben Senior Services Fund section of our program. It's still a mouthful. Joining us in the studio, we have Major Anita and Marlene. Thanks so much for being on the program.
Thank you for having us.
There's a lot to talk about. I think most people are wondering about the outfit, but we're going to save that. We're going to keep people hooked, okay? So first, if one of you would tell us the history of Donut Days for the Salvation Army.
Well, Donut Days is a result of World War I and II, where the Salvation Army lassies were allowed to make donuts. They would pray and sing with the soldiers, and they would go in the trenches. They would make these donuts in a big cauldron, fry them, and then they would go into the trenches with the men and give them donuts. So they were active even through the firing of artillery and everything else. So they did this in World War I and II.
Wow, that must have made that so special for the soldiers at
It
the
was
time.
very special. We hear that the donuts were not that great, but they just appreciated the love
Yes, of course. And is this something that's celebrated every year?
every year.
And what are the celebrations that the Salvation Army takes a
Well,
part in?
there's a National Donut Day that's June 1st.
Okay.
But we're making our Friday, May 17th Donut Day
That's
in
right.
coordination with our 140th anniversary of the Salvation Army in Corning.
And I want to emphasize that 140 years in Corning. That's amazing. Is
Yes.
that pretty high up there when it comes to years, or is that typical?
That's typical
Is it?
from 1884 in February to 2024. And that is typical. That's typical. There are some corps that have even longer, 150.
Wow. And how are some of the ways, and we're going to talk about Donut Day in just a moment, but how are some of the ways that you're celebrating 140 years?
Well, the first kickoff is this week during Salvation Army Week
Yeah.
on Friday, right in Centerway. We have our donut girl who's next to me. She'll be giving out donuts. We'll be giving out 60 boxes of donuts along with recipes and some other tips on how to make donuts and the history of Donut Day as well.
And I should emphasize, because people are watching this right now and they see this really bright out and sunny, this is pre-recorded. So when people are going to hear it, this is actually Friday. Today is Donut Day.
That's right.
So as you're getting
Today
ready to
is
work,
Donut
today
Day.
is the day that you can pick up your donuts. So
And coffee.
And coffee. Wow.
Yes.
And that's right at Centerway.
Yes,
starting
11
at
to
noon.
1.
11 to 1.
11
so
to 1.
go grab some lunch. It's going to be beautiful. See everybody. Say hi to the Donut Lassie. Now tell us about
Yes.
the outfit. Is that the typical outfit?
It is. It is taken from World War I. It is a donated outfit, and of course, if you fit the outfit, you're the one that plays the
That's
role.
You're
right.
stuck every year from here on out.
The helmet, I will tell you, is very, very heavy, and I guess that the men used to use it for everything. They used
Food,
it for
shaving.
food, shaving.
No kidding.
Yeah, I carrying water. So-
Multitask. Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. You only had so much space to
Yeah.
carry things into war.
Sometimes
and
they even wore a dress
Really?
with just the scarf around it, a long
Yeah,
dress.
yeah, yeah.
And they had a Army identification on each collar.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, so there's a comfortable overall.
For the most part, it is all wool. So wool.
So you're hoping it's
I
not
know.
too hot.
Itchy wool.
I am, and so I'd have to say it's heavy, but wool is breathable.
Sure.
So I am praying.
Talk about
for,
the silver lining.
Yes.
Huh?
I
Always
know,
finding the
yes.
silver
I know.
lining.
I'm just praying for 40-degree weather.
It's
tomorrow.
73
Sunny.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
73.
So again, when you're watching this, that is today, Friday, from 11 to 1. So you'll know if it's going to be hot or not by the time you watch this. So what kind of donuts will you be giving away?
Glazed sour cream, I believe.
Yes, they are. They're
Yes.
glazed sour cream.
A little sweeter than what they made because
Yeah.
they just made the Bare Essential donuts.
But what were they when they were Bare Essential? I mean, they must have been very basic
Very
back in World
basic.
War I
with
specifically.
flour, sugar, water,
Yeah.
a little bit of yeast.
You had to
Fried-
dip up
fried
in the
lard.
coffee. Yeah.
They were
Fried in lard.
Oh, interesting.
And we have the recipe. So.
We do. We will be handing
you-
out the recipe.
I'm sure you've tried it before.
Yes, I tried the original. It's a little bit
I
like
make
cardboard.
them every week.
Every week.
I do.
That's why you have the coffee
like
to dip it in.
cardboard.
It totally makes sense. Well, this is such a fun idea. This is the first time, at least in recent memory, that you've been down in Centerway handing out donuts, though,
Yes.
right? Especially in
Yes.
that outfit. I don't remember seeing the outfit
No,
before.
we borrowed the outfit.
Yeah.
We wanted to be as authentic as possible.
And it's absolutely free. Just come over and say hi. It's from 11 to 1 today in Centerway. I want to talk a little bit more about the Salvation Army in general. We were talking off the air, and I know it's been a tough year for everybody when it comes to the need. And it's also been tough in general for numerous organizations for donations. What is the Salvation Army's outlook, would you say?
Well, Salvation Army Week makes it a great time to help everybody to refocus on what our mission and ministry is about. And the goal is to have people recognize us as not only community service, but also as a part of the Christian church. And with all the various programs that we offer, we do need funding for that, for our
Of
after-school program, for summer day camp, for sending kids to overnight camp, and for doing just youth ministry, creative arts, musical instruction.
And how can someone help or donate?
Well, we were hoping that this year, because of our 140th anniversary, that people would consider giving anywhere from $14 to $140
Perfect.
and up.
Yeah. So come on in today at Centerway, get a donut, and maybe if you're so inclined to give a little money for the Salvation Army,
would be
because
great.
I think, and I know we talked about it during the telethon, and I've talked about it on the show numerous times with you and others. Sometimes people almost take for granted in a way how much the Salvation Army does for our community.
Yes.
And it's, you work so hard behind the scenes that you're not worried about public relations. You're worried about getting the job done. And
Yes.
sometimes that's a detriment for
Right,
people
right.
realizing how much you do.
Right. And this year, with the 140th anniversary, we're trying to rebrand ourselves so that people have a clearer understanding about what we're doing, not only the rent, the utilities, but the other part, the life skill development programs that we offer, for the youth and for the adults. So we're hoping this week,
Yeah.
Salvation Army Week, helps us with that.
And will there be a big celebration for the 140th here in Corning?
Yes, on September 8th at the Nassau Civic Center, we'll be having a chicken barbecue with auction and games. It's going to be a great time.
What a great way to celebrate.
Yes.
And like make donations or just to say thank you. There's so many people in the community that have been so positively affected throughout their life by the Salvation Army.
Yes.
Just stop by and say thanks or say hi and make new friends or talk to old friends.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd appreciate that.
So before we go, what do you say to everybody today? Remember going to get donuts down in Centerway. What should they say to you when they come up in your outfit?
Hey, I do. I invite you to come on down and say, "Hey there, Donut Lassie."
Can I get a picture? Can I get a
yeah,
picture?
And absolutely, there will be photo opportunities, and I'll get you a donut.
Perfect.
Free donuts.
11 to 1, free donuts, coffee, and just a great conversation. Thanks so much for being on the show, and stay warm. I shouldn't say that to you.
Thank you for having us.
We'll do it again soon.
Appreciate
All
you.
right. All right. We're definitely going to talk before September 8th.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
be right back with Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV. Big Fox, stay with us.